But our main campus is in.
Hey, we got a lot to go through today, so I'm going to go ahead and just start doing the introductions while everybody's grabbing some food. And just bear with me for a bit. So, first of all, I'd just like to thank everybody for coming here today. My name is Phil Keys, and I am a Keizai Silicon Valley Program Manager. And I put the planning together, so not everybody can make it. Really? That's interesting. This topic.
Vertical initiative.
So what we're going to do is we're going to talk a bit about our sponsors because we could not put on this event without them. And one thing I should mention about Keizai, first of all, Keizai Silicon Valley. We are an organization. We're an organization that's founded on the premise that diversity makes us richer, global relations matter, and discussions to continue to understand what's new and different are uncomfortable and important. So thank you for this, for coming here this evening. And we also, this time, we're doing something a little bit different. We have put on this with the Japan Society of Northern California. And so I'd like to thank them and introduce Michi Kaifu. We'll talk a little bit about Japan Society.
Hello. Hi, my name is Michi Kaifu. I'm a board member of Japan Society of Northern California. We also have a very similar purposes as Keizai Society. The difference is that we cover all the other topics, not just the business and technology. We do events related to policy, law, culture, including anime and games. We have sports-related events, and we have also done. We have also the language class, Japanese language class. So we cover all kinds of different issues. So we are planning a fundraising gala event next month, October 20th, honoring Hitachi Chairman Hiroki Nakanishi and former Secretary of Defense William Perry. We have music, we have auctions. It'll be a lot of fun. So if you're interested, please visit Japan Society of Northern California website and get on the mailing list. And thank you very much for coming, and thank you very much for Keizai Society for having us here. Thank you.
Thank you, Michi. So again, we're a volunteer organization, and we couldn't put on these events without the support from our sponsors, and so we'd like to thank them. So we do a bit of introduction. So what we have a platinum sponsor is FedEx Venture Capital, and they are a Silicon Valley-based global venture capital firm that's invested in over 120 companies globally in a wide variety of sectors. And of course, we have a global sponsor is Protopio. They are a Protopio, Corey, Hargreaves, and Savage is a full-service law firm that was established in 1946. It was recognized as one of the largest growing law firms in 2012. Sunbridge. And Sunbridge is a venture capital organization that's also focused as a bridge between Japan and the United States. Wilson, Sonsini, Goodrich, and Rosati. And WSR, as they're known, is a well-known legal firm that focuses particularly on the technology industry here in Silicon Valley. And one thing I have to admit is that at this point I only don't have all of the sponsors' introductions, so please forgive me there. So we also have a silver sponsor, Tazan International. And Tazan International CEO, Mr. Tsuyoshi Taiga, is right over there. He's a prominent angel investor and management consultant both in Silicon Valley and in Japan. He's a long-term supporter of Keizai and also serves as a board member. And Keroka, legal counsel, as well as VL Tech. Michi Kaifu is also representing here. I'm sorry, excuse me. Excuse me, I'm gonna get it. And these are our bronze sponsors: TMI Associates, EOS Accountants, USA Venture Partners, NIDO, and ETON. And so this is just our program for the day. We've already started the event. We will plan on having both presentations as well as Q&A discussion till 8 o'clock. And then we've got time between 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock for everybody to finish up whatever food is left and have a continue on the discussion. And I'm sure Procopio would really appreciate it if everybody could leave here by 9 o'clock so that we can let everybody clean up the room. And next, a few housekeeping items is that what I'm going to do right now is please silence your mobile phones, all your mobile devices, as a courtesy to our panelists. And we also, if you're interested in tweeting, we use the hashtag Keizai Silicon Valley. And next, this is something we do at Keizai Silicon Valley. It's a little bit different, is that we actually ask everybody to introduce themselves, that way you get to know who your fellow attendees are, and also gives the panelists a chance to know who's in the audience. And so I'd like to ask everybody other than the panelists, because you'll be introduced later, to go ahead and introduce yourselves. So I guess we'll start off. But again, please just keep it to your name and whatever affiliation you'd like to make that.
My name is Brock Hinsman, and I'm here today representing the Millennium Project, which is an international network of futurists.
Hi, I'm Shiro Miyashita from Keizai.
Hello, my name is Neo Miyabe from Renova Inc.
Dave Epstein of Epstein Advisors.
Wendy Fong, Lehigh University. We focus on energy systems, and we have a student startup doing electric motorcycles.
I'm Ipei Goto from NTT Facilities, which are doing the energy stuff of the NTT.
Sheridan Tatsuno, I'm the co-founder of One Reality. We create virtual reality models of smart, sustainable cities.
Glenn Smith. I work at Genentech, but I'm actually a student at the University of San Francisco in an Energy Systems Management master's program.
My name is Gina Bertolino. I work at NVIDIA.
Yasuo Dacho Desusho.
Hi, Taka from Pacific Vision Partners, and working there as an intern, and originally from Iwatani Corporation.
I'm good at it.
Hello, I'm Kumiko Yoshinari. I'm from a biotechnology company called Calista, but formerly with energy storage and solar power project development, having developed a project in Hawaii with energy storage.
Hi, my name is My name is Hariko Diars. I'm a financial consultant. A lot of my clients are in the energy sector, so I wanted to educate myself.
Hello, my name is Christopher Chen. I'm a defense consultant.
Hi, my name is Ryuji Masaki from Aichi Steel Corporation. We are a special steel manufacturer.
Hi, I'm Sean Koyama, startup liaison from Hitachi.
Good evening, my name is Olga Savage. I'm an attorney here at Procopio. I'm in the firm's labor and employment practice group.
My name is Yuli Morales, and I'm an IP clerk here at Procopio.
Hi, I'm Michael Jones. I'm in the IP group here at Procopio.
My name is Fanny. I'm the volunteer. Hi, my name is Matsuo Maki Matsuo. I'm from Kyushu University.
I am John McGehee from Wave Computing, the leader in data flow and machine learning appliances.
Amiku Mehta in Procopio firm, partner in the U.S. Patent Attorney. Thank you for letting us sponsor you and welcome to our office.
Thank you.
Roger Nobles with KCS West, our parent company is Kajima Construction.
Good evening, my name is Suzuki, Hideki Suzuki from Seoul NYK, that's shipping company. Thank you.
My name is Koji Kigawa from Daikin. We produce the HVAC system and also flow chemicals.
My name is Munekata, and I'm an independent consultant specializing in helping U.S. startups do business in Japan, including technology licensing and POC projects and distribution.
I'm Alan Malaki. I'm with Cisco and also advisor of Plug and Play.
My name is Ryo Kamai from Panasonic Ventures.
Hi, good evening. I'm Chimi Shioya, president of Keizai Silicon Valley. Welcome to the event.
Hi, this is Tsuyoshi Taira. We recently started investing very small amount of money to the startup. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Atsushi Yanai from Mistletoe and RBS Venture.
Hi, I'm Kazuki Baba from Suzuki Motors Automotive Industry.
My name is Feng Pingwu from Global Clean Tech Bridge. We help clean tech companies to grow business overseas in China and Southeast Asia.
Hi, my name is Mark Caro, Silicon Valley Japan Business Consulting.
Hello, my name is Atsushi Kuraoka. I'm studying civil engineering in Japan. I'm gonna be entrepreneur.
Lucian, and I have my 3 seconds later.
Okay, have we missed anybody? Got it? Okay, great. So now I'd like to introduce the panelists and moderator. And so, unfortunately, the moderator is going to be me, so you're going to have to continue listening to me. And so what I do for my day job is I work for a company called Intertrust Technologies. It's a software company specializing in trusted distributed computing. I also am a columnist, one of the columnists for a column that runs in the Nikkei Sangyo newspaper called Shinku Shirikanbare. And we had Mr. James Chen was on the panel, but unfortunately he could not make it. So hopefully we'll have another chance to host him. And next we'll have a presentation from Lisa Elkins. And Lisa, yeah. So Lisa Elkins is a senior associate with Procopio, and she assists clients with regulatory counseling, policy development, particular focus on public utility and transportation regulations. Thank you. And Luciano Young, and he is a partner and consultant with Emily Consulting LLC, provides strategic business and technology leadership, advice, and expertise on product and market strategy, international development, and expansion to new global markets. And Michael Canellis from OSIsoft. And Michael, I actually put someone else's name on here. But anyways, Michael is a technology analyst at OSIsoft, which is a software company that particularly specializes in software that runs things like car plants. And he's also a long-time technology reporter, and has been particularly active in the clean tech area for quite some time. And last but not least, Jing No, Policy Manager at California Energy Storage Alliance. And CESA is an industry trade association of over 70 member companies, representing all types and scales of technologies and projects in the energy storage ecosystem. With that, thank you very much. And we'll go on to the next sort of things out. It's very small. There we go. So I'm going to start off here with a very quick presentation. And I just want to start off, the reason I did this panel is I used to be a technology reporter for Nikkei Business Publications. And at one point, this will date me, but in 2000, I was charged with doing an article about what people in the internet industry, CTOs, thought was going to be important technologies in the future. And so this is internet technology. And I talked to one person, and he said something that kind of floored me, which was batteries. Now, and he had a point, which I think when you look at today's world is very prescient, which was batteries, everything people wanted to do with the internet, a lot of it was going to be mobile. And batteries were going to be a gating item for all the different mobile applications that people want to do on the internet. And now with these days, with everybody trying to not look at their phone all the time, I think people are very, very prescient. But we've come to a new age where the internet, of course, still continues to be an important thing, but another issue has come up is, of course, climate change. And batteries are going to play a very important role in the decarbonization of our economy. And so I'm going to be, for that, we decided for this panel to focus really on two important areas within clean tech. And one is going to be transportation, and the other is going to be grid storage. So this just gives you an idea. If you look back at the turn of the century, these are a couple representative electric cars. Those were really the two major ones on the market. About 90, 100 mile range, and actually using at that point they're using nickel metal hydride batteries. Comes to today, we now have, there's these two models on the US market that have over 200 mile range with using lithium ion batteries, and more coming each day. But the important thing to remember is it's not all about cars. Already we have electric buses, which are running in China, as well as a company called Portera here in the US, which is bringing them here. Believe it or not, electric planes are coming on to the market. This is a NASA prototype, runs off of batteries, and as well as ships. This is the first all-battery ferry that was introduced in Norway earlier. And then we come to grid storage. So everybody knows that, certainly you've heard about the announcement that California is going to 100% clean energy, not renewable energy, clean energy by our future by 2045. But much of that's going to be renewable. And I'm sure many people have heard about the fact that the sun doesn't shine all the time, the wind doesn't blow all the time. Well, there's another problem. When the sun is shining and when the wind is blowing, it's kind of hard to turn it off. And we're running, this is a really famous curve. It's called the duck curve. And what it's showing is the imbalance between what is being produced of energy flowing into the grid and what's being consumed. And you notice the date on this is March 31st. This is a typical beautiful spring day in California, bright sunny day, probably have some wind coming on. But yet it's not warm enough for everybody to turn on the air conditioning. So you don't have the load that you would normally have later on in the summer. This is not a good thing for electrical grid. And so we're seeing more and more of an imbalance during the day, particularly with all the solar generation coming on. And that power has to go somewhere. In fact, right now, there are times where we're actually giving away energy. So, energy storage, batteries being one type of energy storage, are one solution to this problem. Now, the thing about batteries is they're very different from other types of technologies that we're used to, digital technologies. We're basically talking about chemistry, physics. And it doesn't run on the same silicon cycle that we're used to with all the digital technologies. And so these are just some, over the last few months, I just gathered some some articles that talk about all these new different types of battery technologies that are coming on. And so these come up all the time. So when some researcher finds really interesting battery technology, well, the thing about batteries is not only does it have to pack a lot of power, it has to be safe. It has to be economical. It has to last a long time. These are all very difficult problems to solve. And so when you look at it, why do we now have electric cars coming on? Why are we really looking at there's now great interest, a lot of interest in batteries for grid storage. And I think this really explains what's happening with the market, which is that the price of lithium-ion battery packs has gone way down since 2010. And more and more, certainly in the United States, you've heard about the Gigafactory. So there's other factories that we'll be talking about as well that are coming online and dropping the price. This is why you can buy a Chevrolet Bolt for about $30,000 right now. And that's it for my presentation here. So next I'd like to invite our panelists. Next I'll have Luisa, excuse me. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Phil. I really appreciate that introduction. Thank you very much for being here. It is a real honor to be speaking at this panel today for the second time in participating at the Keizai Business Forum. So as Phil indicated, the topic that we're covering today is energy storage. And we have divided this topic into two. We're going to talk about transportation, but I'm going to focus on the storage as an energy resource, grid storage. Since our panelists will be discussing very specifically some of the details of the policies and market rules that are facilitating the development of these technologies, I thought that I would just give you a very high-level tour and I will give you a description of the ecosystem, the regulatory ecosystem, and the rules that apply to battery storage and are driving the development of this storage in California. So before we move on to that, though, I wanted to show you this graph. This is from the Energy Information Administration Annual Energy Outlook for 2018. This graph compares three different technologies: wind, solar, photovoltaic, and storage. And while it appears that storage is not going to match solar or wind anytime soon, in terms of capacity growth projections, storage is about to undergo a revolution. Wind is only going to grow 16% in the next 30 years, according to these projections. Solar photovoltaic is going to increase 3 times, which is a pretty healthy growth, but storage is actually expected to grow tenfold. So two key takeaways from this graph and from this annual energy outlook is that there are 2 reasons why storage is growing. One is declining cost, and the panelists will talk more about that. But also, California is driving growth through its policies. And there are new developments in the wholesale energy market, particularly at the federal level, that are also going to encourage and incentivize the development of energy storage. So with that in mind, I want to give you a very quick overview of what are the regulatory agencies, the ecosystem that is involved in the regulation of energy in California, and that have a role in developing the policies that favor energy storage development. Let's start with the California Public Utilities Commission, or CPUC. The CPUC regulates investor-owned utilities and has been responsible for implementing most of the policies that have led to growth in energy storage in California, and we'll talk about that in a minute. The California Energy Commission, or CEC, it regulates publicly owned utilities, but it also administers grants and provides incentives to developers for research and development of new technologies. We're also going to discuss briefly what those technologies are. Third, the California Independent System Operator, or CAISO, it administers the grid in California, and it has been a pioneer in terms of opening the wholesale market for energy to energy storage resources. And we'll talk about that as well. But this model has actually been expanded by the Federal Energy Regulatory Agency, or FERC, which is this agency is actually a commission, so that's a mistake. But it regulates interstate transmission as well as wholesale energy markets. And this is important at a federal level, but also in California, because it has the FERC has recently issued a rule that will change market operations at a national level. So with that, now that we know what are the regulatory agencies, what the regulatory agencies are that implement these policies, let's see what those policies are. And this is a very non-comprehensive, not exhaustive statutory framework for storage. And some of these, over the last 10 years plus, the California has been enacting statutes that have incentivized or helped the development of certain energy storage technologies. I would like to focus on 3 of these statutes. First, in 2010, Assembly Bill AB 2514, which directed the CPUC to set energy storage targets for publicly owned utilities. I'll talk about this bill in a minute, in that policy more specifically. Also, Senate Bill 350 in 2015, which is an extremely ambitious climate change statute, and it has many goals that right now the state is trying to implement. Those goals include a greenhouse gas emissions reduction to 40% of 1990 levels by 2030. And as if that weren't ambitious enough, we are also trying to accomplish, well, the 50%, I'm going to use the technical term, renewables, by 2030. But it also has other goals, such as transportation electrification, promoting transportation electrification, and maintaining grid reliability, which is it's a piece in which storage plays a very big role. And finally, as Phil mentioned, just a couple of weeks ago, you might have heard that the governor signed SB 100. And what this bill does is it basically accelerates those renewable targets that we already had in SB 350. And by 2026, we're expected to achieve 50%. So that's a 4-year acceleration, timeline acceleration. But we also, by 2030, we're expected to achieve 60%. And by 2045, we're expected to get to 100% renewables. So all of these policies, there's no way that we can achieve those goals without energy storage. And that's basically the key point to take away from this statutory framework. Also, I apologize, I know I'm throwing a lot of acronyms and a lot of information at you. You will see this in everyone's presentation, but I hope that as we repeat this over and over again, this will help you get more familiar with those terms. Now, the regulatory framework, let's go more specifically into the actual regulatory agencies and their policies. So the CPUC, or California Public Utilities Commission, is responsible for implementing most of the policies that I just mentioned, the statutes that I just mentioned. And the CPUC does this through what we call a rulemaking process. And a rulemaking process is simply a proceeding in which stakeholders provide their comments. It's a very lengthy and comprehensive public comment process.